welcome back to Cards by the Hill. My name is Jane Hill. So first off, apologies for the lighting. Sun is coming right through the window across the island, and I always have this window uncovered because I like the light generally to come in so you can see what I'm doing. Okay, now another Dickensian Ornament, 2.5 inch ball. I've already covered it in 4 segments of material. Now I want to show you the easiest way that I do this. Okay, so let's find a little piece of material. Yeah, this one could possibly do. Right, these pieces of material, scrap materials that I've got here, these are samples that I asked to be sent to me online from stores that do wallpaper samples, upholstery samples, material, anything like that. And a lot of the companies will send you samples for free. So you can request them online and you can get quite a few samples together just from going online and ordering them yourself and getting them sent to you. You can also, I don't know if they still do it, but the big stores like B&Q, Homebase, them sort of places used to do, you could go to the wallpaper section and just take your own wallpaper samples off any of the rolls you wanted. I don't know whether they still do that. I've done that a lot as well in the past, and I've got quite a few wallpaper samples as well. And we're going to use one or two of those for a card, just to show you that you can use wallpaper samples if you haven't got a lot of backing paper. All saves a bit of money. And if you can't get them sent to you for free, the material ones, they might ask you to pay £1 postage or something, you know, if you've got several samples you want sent to you, something like that. So it's worth a look to go online and just see what there is and who's willing to send out what, because you can build up quite a few pieces for your stash. Okay, now I know that crafters cut segments with measurements to fill in these sorts of things, and it's this dimension by that dimension and so on and so forth. I do not do that because my measurements would never come out right. Okay, so if you prefer to do it that way, there's plenty of people on YouTube who show you how to do that. I like the way I do it because it's just simple. Okay, now this is the segment that I used for this ball. All you do is use that as a template. You can make a template for yourself just to keep handy for when you make projects like this. It doesn't have to be perfect, just a rough cut of what you're looking for. Okay, as you can see, this is really not a perfect one, but it doesn't matter. You can trim it around to make it a little bit better if you want to, and that is literally going to stick on like that. Okay, then you're going to go round and do another 3 the same, all the way around, stick them on, and then you're left with this. And that is as simple as it gets to me. Like I said, I can't do the measurement thing, it just doesn't work for me, so I just prefer to do it this way. Now this glittery piece was another sample that was sent to me. I've cut out 2 strips here, and they're going to go across the ball like this, covering up the segments that you can see. Okay, and that's it. You would never know. Now we need one round the edge here as well, which we're going to do. So we need to cut one out for that, but I think I've only got, I don't think I've got one long enough to go all the way. No, so it's probably going to have to be 2 pieces, unfortunately. Don't quite fit that way either, so that one's a bit of a nuisance, to be honest, because it's not the right length. So you can do something like that, or if you want to use a lace trim, you can go around it with lace like that. And you'd be none the wiser. So maybe if you even made them shorter, so the lace would only see through to the white polystyrene, then you'd have no blue at all showing. You see what I mean? So that's quite a good one. So we'll do one of those. But first I want to get this blue trim around this one. Might have to use, thing is I don't think I've got enough to do around that segment and across the top, which we need to do as well. Although, let's see, maybe if I use shorter ones for the sides, possibly I might have enough. Let's see whether that fits. Okay, so that will fit there. That will fit across, and I'll do shorter ones for the sides, so we'll get away with it. Okay, that'll work. And of course you know that most of the time I don't measure strips or things like that. I just do it to the size I think works. Or I kind of measure them against what I've already cut. Excuse the hoarse voice again. I think the asthma's playing up. Right, so I'm going to use those 2 for around the seam. And then this one can work across the top. I'm just trimming the ratty edges off. It's a bit better. Okay, so there's our pieces. Glue gun's ready. So we're going to go across this way first. This one. That needs trimming off. Let's get rid of any hot glue. That needs trimming now. Get rid of any excess. Okay, so that's one edge to edge. These shorter ones are going this way. Again, trimming off. And this one this way. There we are. So that's the cross. And then we're going to go around the edging with the longer ones. So let's start here. And then we're going to have a join, but to be fair, it doesn't really show up on this blue material, so we're okay. A little bit more glue under there. And the triangular pieces that I've cut, I glued with Nuvo because it's only on polystyrene, so I didn't hot glue those because it's quite a thin material, as you can see. I think there would have been some issues if I'd have used hot glue. There we are. So that's the basis of it. So easy to do. All it needs now is the bottom decorated, hanger, maybe some embellishments, and you've got one completed. So that one's going to stay to the side for a minute. And then let's do this one. With let's see, shall we use the pink? I'm going to use the pink and the lace. So what I think we'll do is put the lace on first so we can see where we're working to. So we'll use the line, the join line to start with. So round we go. And of course you can paint the ball underneath. You can use markers, brush markers, glitter, whatever you want to do. If you want something to show through the lace. But as the polystyrene ball is already white, I think that's quite helpful. So that's the lace. I'm not keen on this little ratty bit here, but then that's going to make our lace shorter. But it doesn't matter because we'll put something now, an embellishment now, that will cover that up. So don't worry too much about noticing things afterwards. Right, now because we've done the lace first, we're going to need triangles with straight edges. We'll use this as a template. And just mark out a triangle like that. That gives us our straight edge. So we've got a triangle, okay. And that edge can go along the lace like that. And we can glue it up. Now don't worry if the material doesn't quite reach the top, because you can always add embellishments to cover that up. You know, there's always round it, so don't panic. Right, so we're going to need 4 of these. If I turn the material over the other way, we can use this line here where we cut the other one from. That's the next one, so we've got 2. Let's get on with a third one. All your pieces out of one little strip like this successfully. And it's good for if you haven't got a lot of material. You know, if you only got scraps, but you wanted to make one. It doesn't have to be out of the same material for the whole thing. It can be out of different materials. There we go. So there's our 4. Right, so as I said, I used Nouveau for the thin material. And of course, when you use Nouveau, you can move the material around, which helps. So it's not always advisable to use the hot glue. Okay, so on it goes, butting it up to the edge of the lace there. Just like that, you see? And then over it goes. Now you have to manipulate it, you have to work with it. And you're probably thinking, well, why not just measure it and get the right measured piece? But as I said, I can't do the measures. It will come out horribly wrong. So I prefer this way. It's just an alternative for you if you can't work with the measures on these kind of things as well. And there we go. So that's the first piece on. Butted it up to the lace. Just got a little thread there. You can always add more glue if you don't think it's stayed down enough. This has got a little bit of glue on it, but that's fine. If you get glue on the material, just get a baby wipe and wipe it over. And you see it coming away. Okay, so that's the idea of doing it without the measurements. So I'm going to cover the rest of that in the pink. and then that will be featured on another video for another bauble. Okay. Okay, so if you head over to part 2, you'll see the remainder of the video. Sorry it's in 2 parts again, but with the uploading situation on YouTube, over half an hour, I have too many problems. So, enjoy, and I'll see you on the next one.